Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. Today we are going to be talking about a surprising solution out there. If you've been in the preparedness world for a bit, you know that taking the medical decisions into your own hands and preparing for possible grid down or medical shortages often involves getting some meds for your fish. There's a lot going on with that, and it's a solution, and it's a good solution. It's a solution that I've done before, let's just say. This past year, I restocked on all my antibiotics for my fish. And if you know anything about that, it's in the laws in the United States, all the pills in the United States have to be standardized, and they all have to be up to the same level. So if they put that pill in somebody's prescription bottle, it has to be up to the same grade that the same pill put into a fish bottle is. And so when people cracked these things open, they found the same exact pills in them. And according to this, United States laws, they cannot put stuff that's not up to human consumption grade and still put those markers on them. So people have looked at that. But the surprising thing is there's actually a cheaper, more straightforward solution to this. And that is, you may have heard it in other channels have been talking about it. And I think we're all very surprised with Jase Medical because it's actually cheaper. You can get a full prescribed set of antibiotics. You actually have a consultation with a doctor. You actually get a doctor that gives you their contact information. So if you have any questions about what you should take or how you should handle something, they will actually give you a free consultation. And this is cheaper. I went out and I crunched the numbers on what it would take to buy equivalent amounts of fish pills. And the cheapest I found of 3 sites was $314 plus shipping, whereas Jase Medical sells that amount for $259. And if you actually go in the link down below, it's $20 off. So that's even better. So $239 for a Jase Medical packet. You get a mix of meds. You also get, which is really cool too, I really like how they include a guidebook so you can kind of know generally what you should use, like which ones you should use for different kinds. And like I said, you have a doctor that you can ask those questions of, I have this type of infection, which one of the ones should I use and what should be the dosage? And they will give you that free information over the line. The problem is that what happens if the pharmacies run out of antibiotics? Because all these antibiotics come from one country, and it's the country across the ocean. Then they ship it all over to India. India packages up the generic drugs, right? And then they come over here. There's a pretty long supply chain, and all of those roads lead to one country in which we could be in conflict with in the near future. What happens if we get into a spat with them and we suddenly lock down sanctions on everything coming out of that country? Suddenly, all your antibiotics are gone. A lot of prescription medications are gone. And that's a huge threat. What happens if they just decide that they want to punish us and they just lock out all the prescriptions, all the medications coming to us? Suddenly, there aren't any. If you have it sitting on your shelf, you do have it, right? Other things are, we're seeing more and more where doctors are just like, you're saying, I need this prescribed to me, and the doctors are saying, no, we'll get in trouble if we prescribe that to you. For political reasons or for whatever reasons, they're not prescribing you what you want sometimes now, especially when it comes to things for the cough and things for antibiotics. They're being cracked down a lot on overprescribing antibiotics. They're also cracking down on pain meds too for, those type of reasons for addictions and stuff like that. So more and more doctors and hospitals aren't prescribing you what you want. They're prescribing you what they're being told they're allowed to prescribe to you. So having that in your possession, what happens if you know you have a health issue or something like that, and you start getting an infection and you want to start taking that? You don't want to have to stand in line, call your doctor, try to get an appointment. What happens if they're busy? What happens if you show up and they realize that they are under investigation for issuing too many prescriptions for antibiotics, and they don't want to write you a prescription? What happens if they write you a prescription and you get to the pharmacy and the pharmacy's under investigation for issuing too many antibiotics, and so they tell you no? We're seeing that with the cough. This is, as government intrudes more and more into medicine, you need to take these things into your own hands. You need to make sure you have a stockpile. You need to be able to make the decisions about what you and your family members need to take and what they are allowed to take, right? If you're an adult out there, you need to be making the decisions for you and your family's health, right? Hopefully you're getting good medical advice. I know some folks are out there are against any kind of the pharmaceutical kind of stuff, and they actually are all about the herbs. Make sure you're informed about what you're doing, but that's awesome that you're taking ownership of it. If you're a bit more in the middle ground like I am not opposed to this stuff. I think I've taken like a couple antibiotics for a couple operations once or twice, but nothing really major. I don't like medications, but I realize that if you have a serious infection, you need to do something about that, and these things have saved countless lives. And the fact that you can get these cheaper with an actual prescription and sent directly to your house, and have a guidebook and such like that, and have someone on hand that you can call and ask questions of, is I think just a no-brainer. So like I said, they don't give you many options because they're trying to keep the price down, which is fair. They give you a nice spread spectrum of the most popular and most useful antibiotics. If you're allergic to any one of these, or if anyone in your family is allergic to one of these, they can actually swap them out for something that you won't be allergic to. So that's huge too. Just make sure you talk to them about it. And make sure you put that on the form, and they'll move things around. But $2.59 for your own pack, $20 off. You use the link down below. As you can see, I have it. They sent this to me, but as you can see, I believe in antibiotics enough that I've purchased out there. This costs more than what this costs, which is crazy. Now I have a bigger stock here of these things, but than what this is. But I'm just blown away that they're doing this. I think it's awesome. It's very surprising to me that it's cheaper. So do your own research, but I would recommend checking these guys out if you don't have your medications at home squared away. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. We'll try to answer them. If we can't, or if they're medical in nature, we'll point you to the right direction, hopefully. And God bless you. Have a great day.